in the West, they're using everyday low price. So every day they're hampering me and I'm hampering my workers. This is how it is. They're competing. The stores are competing in there. When the stores are coming to us for an order and negotiating, they're telling, look, that particular store is selling this shirt with like $5, so I needed to sell it in the $4. So you better squeeze your price. So we are squeezing. Then other store is coming and selling, hey, they're selling it the $4, so the target price is 3. If you can meet the 3, you're getting business, otherwise you are not getting. Because we want that business so badly, we don't have other options. Okay, every time we are trying to survive actually.
Ultimately, something's got to give. Either the price of the product has to go up, or manufacturers have to shut down or cut corners to make it work.
Cutting corners and disregarding safety measures had become an accepted part of doing business in this new model, until an early morning in April, when an event just outside of Dhaka, Bangladesh, brought a hidden side of fashion to front page news.
Many survivors are asking how they could have been forced to return to work when management already was aware of the cracks in the building and workers' concerns on the very day of the collapse.
A lot of clothes in American stores are made in Bangladesh by workers who earn about $2 a day. Last month there, a garment factory collapsed, killing more than 1,000. And a few months before that, a factory fire killed more than 100.
Rapacious industry that is generating so much profit for a handful of people, why is it that it is unable to support millions of its workers properly? Why is it that it is not able to guarantee their safety? We're talking about essential human rights. Why is it unable to guarantee that whilst generating these tremendous profits? Is it because it doesn't work properly? That is my question.
As immoral, or do they just don't, or are they amoral?
The system they're working for and the system that allows companies to do this is amoral. The individuals concerned are simply products of that system and having to drive it through to its logical conclusion. What we need to do is change the way those companies operate.
My grandparents settled out here in the 20s. And so this is a part of my heritage. People ask why I'm an organic cotton farmer. It's because I don't know any better. My granddaddy was an old German farmer that felt like we should respect the land, we're stewards of the land, and respect the life that's in the land. You're actually sitting in the high plains of Texas, and there's 3.6 million acres of cotton grown in this region. We're literally the biggest cotton patch in the world. In just the past 10 years, 80% of that is now GMO, genetically modified cotton. Most of it is Roundup ready, meaning that instead of the farmers spot spraying weeds occasionally in their field or hiring laborers to walk the field and eliminate the weeds, now they're spraying whole fields. Many times consumers become aware of organic milk or they have an allergy. And so interestingly enough, cotton and what they put on their body, even though the skin's the largest organ on your body, isn't even on their radar screen because they're not getting the connection of, oh, I eat this organic apple, therefore I'm not directly ingesting pesticides or chemicals or whatever the case may be. But they don't get that direct connection with clothing. And so you have to start looking at in that bigger community scope, that it is about our air, it's about our world, it's about our planet, it's about our people. And so it is that awareness of, you may not feel that you're having the direct impact by buying this organic shirt, but the impact you're having is in the bigger picture in the world at large, and especially in the community where the cotton's grown.
Monsanto is proud to be the industry leader in agricultural innovation because of what these agricultural advancements can do to help you double yields for the future needs of the world. We're dedicated to the future of agriculture and providing farmers with innovations that help them produce more and conserve more, while improving the lives of people around the world. Together, we can face the challenges of the next generation and beyond.
was where all these redundant factories that made more chemicals, explosives, were lying around, the Western countries thought that it would be a good idea to market them to the third world. After all, the same industry that makes explosives makes nitrogen fertilizers. And they started to push nitrogen fertilizers from the 50s onwards, after we became independent. But the nitrogen fertilizers don't do very well with native crops. There's a problem of lodging. So the whole system then organized itself to redesign the plant in order to take on more chemicals. Bt cotton is a cotton in which a gene has been added from a bacteria to produce a toxin. But the Bt cotton, which is supposed to control a pest, has been offered because it's a way for companies to own the seed.
By patenting these genetically modified plants, Monsanto has become the largest seed and chemical corporation in history. I wanted to speak with someone who had worked with the company.
When they get the seed, because of the high cost, 17,000% more. They get into deeper debt because it doesn't deliver on the promise of controlling pests, so they have to buy more pesticides. The tragedy with chemicals, whether it's fertilizers or pesticides, is that they are what has been called ecological narcotics. The more you use them, the more you need to use them. For a while, the yield of the single commodity climbs and then it starts to decline because you have contaminated the soil. Companies that make the GM seeds and make the chemicals are the same companies. And they're also the same companies that make the medicines, which they're not patenting. So you get cancer, there are more profits. For them, it's a win, 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 win. As for nature and people, it's a lose, 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 lose. It's the day those agents of these companies come to the farmer and say, you owe me this much, you haven't paid back, now your land is my land. That day the farmer will go into his field, drink a bottle of pesticide and end his life. And every widow I've talked to said, and the neighbors came and said they first found my husband lying in the field.
Kanpur is situated along river Ganga, which is the holiest river, and it's also very important for 800 million Hindus, and also it serves as lifeline of North India. So this river is being polluted and killed by the leather factories of Kanpur.
With growing demand for materials like cheap leather, Kanpur is now the leather export capital of India. Every day here, more than 50 million liters of toxic wastewater pour out of the local tanneries. Heavy chemicals used to treat the leather, like chromium-6, flow into local farming and even drinking water. In places like Kanpur, far from the eyes of the world, major Western brands are able to source cheap materials while avoiding all accountability for the growing cost to human health and the environment.
People in that area are in the tight grip of tannery pollution. The local environment is contaminated, soil is contaminated, the only drinking water source, groundwater, is contaminated with chromium. Agricultural produce, even vegetables and salad items are produced there. People's health are affected. People have different kinds of dermal problems, skin rashes, boils, pustules, even numbness in the limbs. People have stomach ailments. Maybe they have cancers also.
Continue to search for happiness in the consumption of things? Will we be satisfied with a system that makes us feel rich while leaving our world so desperately poor? Will we continue to turn a blind eye to the lives of those behind our clothes? Or will this be a turning point, a new chapter in our story, when together we begin to make a real change, as we remember that everything we wear was touched by human hands? In the midst of all the challenges facing us today, for all the problems that feel bigger than us and beyond our control. Maybe we could start here with clothing.